couple of guys from Toronto. Just what you probably dream of when you're turning 50, right?
No, I couldn't believe it. When I was a young boy, 11, 12 years old, looking to the future, when I was 50, where would I want to be? You know, Europe, New York? No. In my office with you two gentlemen. And I could see Frankie got all dressed up. Must have just got off the treadmill, Frankie.
Oh, yeah.
I was having a bit of a dilemma today trying to find something to wear for this.
Jeez.
We're a little behind on the laundry.
But it happens. Listen, this is one of those days, man. You got the Open on.
Yeah.
You know, there's literally nothing going on in sports. This is a relax, put your feet up, let's have a fun time. There's nothing wrong with that for 3 hours.
Yeah, man. Strutty, the fashion police. For sure you were a fashion police guy. Guy shows up to the rink right away. Strutty's got something to say. Where'd you get those jeans?
No,
They come with a bowl of soup?
I got abused. I was not a good. I didn't care. I still don't really care about dressing. You know, like when you go look at the Mona Lisa, no one knows what the frame looks like, right? And so like, I would wear whatever I wanted or nothing. It didn't really matter. I looked good.
Yeah, well, that's true, man. The locker room etiquette it's a wild scene in there, man. It's a wild scene in a dressing room. And yeah, I could see Strut giving it, and then I guess you got to be prepared to take it too, right? Like if you're going to chirp what other people are wearing constantly, especially crazy suits for young guys who just got money. Like that's what I always find amazing about pro sports.
Right.
You know, the 19-year-old, 20, 21-year-old who has no style, has worn a tracksuit almost every day of his life. And all of a sudden he's got $1 million in the bank and someone says, you got to get some suits. And like some of them are just classics. If you rock a Navy suit, you can't miss. It's tailored properly, Navy suit, white shirt and a tie, boom. But if you get crazy, and you can, you see some guys in a hot pink suit. You'll see different stripes. You'll see different top hats.
That would never happen in Strutty's day.
Well,
never.
that's
no one's showing
Strut.
up to the rink in those types of things back then.
No one was. And Mark Messier got me a new suit, and he got me a green suit. And like, I didn't even have a navy blue suit, and I was wearing this green suit. I'm like, why did I buy an olive green suit? I don't even have a blue or a black one. But I had this thing for years, and I still regret buying it. I should have just gone more conservative, but he wanted me to get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know what's another one that you can sniff out a guy that's just freshly up from junior? The travel bag. If he's got one of those like Reebok duffel travel bags that you get as like the team issued apparel in junior hockey, and you show up on the private bird and everyone's got the nice black Louis Vuitton or the Gucci bags, and you're like, someone's going to have a word with you at some point about purchasing an NHL travel bag shortly.
Have to, right? And that's the beauty of the old school stories. You know, like I've heard Charles Barkley talk about it. I've heard NHL players, NFL players, like young guys that come into the league, and someone, takes them under their wing, so to speak. Some grizzled vet who's married with kids and has been in the league for 15 years, and basically teaches you like this is how it's going to work. And I'm curious how that's going to happen, again in the NHL. We've talked a little bit about it, like I guess this new provision in the CBA where the Players Association evidently has been fighting for a more relaxed dress code, or I guess no dress code. Basically, my understanding is players can wear almost whatever they want now to the games. And historically, it was always just a suit. And I would guess 80-90% of players will continue to wear suits. The question is, who breaks loose? Like, who is the guy, or who are the guys who are like, screw it, I'm wearing, whatever, a tank top, I'm wearing shorts, I'm wearing a short suit, I'm wearing, glasses coming in, top hats coming in.
There's going to be guys monetizing it.
There will be
guys walking in with a T-shirt with a big logo, and they're getting paid $100,000 for the year to show up to every game wearing some company's logo across their chest. That's going to happen at some point.
That's a good point, actually, I guess. Could you broker some deal with some boutique or some massive line of clothing, and all of a sudden you become the spokesman and you're wearing that? That might actually open up.
Someone's got to get a Costco endorsement, and you got to show up to games with Kirkland right across.
You got to be on the
chest.
fourth line. Like, you have to be a fourth line if you're the face of the Kirkland line.
The guy on Calgary, Kirkland.
Yeah,
That's the guy who's got to do it.
You're right.
But you know what's crazy, guys? Like, how often do we even see video of the players entering the game or the rink before the game? Like Toronto Maple Leafs, it seems like there's cameras everywhere. maybe Montreal, but like outside of that, we don't see a lot of footage of guys walking into the games. Maybe the playoffs a bit more, but I don't think it's actually that big a deal. Like I saw that, and a couple of my buddies like, oh man, these guys aren't going to wear suits. Well, you don't see them when they walk in. Maybe you see them when they walk out, but I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal, actually. I think a big deal is the no fitness testing. I can't believe that teams went for that. How are you going to know if a guy's in shape? And you can say, well, we're going to skate him, but I think it's good to have a baseline. Like personally, I wanted to have a baseline that I knew that, you know, my VO2 or whatever, my other numbers were all kind of where I want to be. And I kind of knew as you got older. But I think you need that baseline. So I didn't look at it as a punishment. I don't know if players, they think it is now. I look at it as like, hey, this is a measurement to see that, you know, Frankie Corrado, Jason Strudwick, Matthews, all these guys did the work in the offseason. Because I also want to know which one of my teammates did and didn't do it.
That's an interesting thought, like the idea that you're tracking your teammates.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that, but you're right. If some guy steps up and can't do anything in the VO2, you're like, I know what this cat's been up to the last 3 or 4 months, and we got to have a big year, and this isn't a great start.
Yeah, this guy stopped hacking darts in the middle of August, getting himself ready for the VO2. He thought he was going to show up and go 20 minutes on the bike. Not going to happen. You know what I think has happened, though, Struddy? I think, like, training for hockey has changed now so much that guys train a certain way for hockey, and then they get to a certain point in the summer, call it like middle of August, and they go, you know what?
Fair point.
I actually got to get ready for fitness testing now. And it's like two different things. I think if you're not doing it now, then you're just falling behind, and it's way too competitive. The guys that make a lot of money, like the Pettersson kid in Vancouver, there's a great example of a guy you'd probably love to have a fitness testing for him this year to see where he's at. But I think it's the number of guys that would be falling behind are so minuscule because it's just way too competitive now, and you can lose your job too quickly.
No, and that is a really good point. That's a really good thing, because you're right. There is there's sometimes like I got to get on the bike or I got to do this to build my VO2 up. But so let's make it more sport specific. You know, something that I know that a lot of trainers like to see is broad jump. So doing 3 broad jumps. I mean, you probably did that skipping into your office today, Frankie Corrado. That is nothing to do. So that I can track where I'm at. And same with maybe like hip mobility. That's another thing I know that trainers really like. But the days of the bench press, I mean, I'd get on that thing and you're trying to just kill it. You're like, what am I doing here? Like, you don't, I'm not throwing a ball here. So I think maybe it's be more sport specific, just again, so I can track it. I know I can get it tracked by my own trainers. Everyone has their own trainers. But I don't know. Guys, I think at some point we might see the fitness testing come back. I really do. Again, not as a punishment, but as a way of tracking where I'm at and tracking each other and holding each other accountable on that team.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought. And, you know, I think what you said, Frankie, is very accurate in terms of the modern athlete. I remember speaking with, I think it was Max Domi years ago, about how he trains in the summer where he wasn't using weights. It was all like running and, you know, stretching. Like he was working out extensively. Clearly, he's in incredible shape, but was not like throwing up dumbbells and bench press and all that, where, again, to prepare for the test just to make sure Craig Berube's happy with you, maybe you got to do that. Like if there's some sort of expectation, like you got